नमस्ते, गुड इवनिंग सभी आज जो व्यूअर्स मेरे साथ इस फेसबुक लाइव सेशन में जुड़ रहे हैं उन सभी का हार्दिक अभिनंदन. So I'll wait for 1 minute or so and then I'll start discussing about the topic for the session today. 2020, a year of human resilience. I'm waiting for some more viewers to join with me. So initially, just to mention, as we are giving farewell to 2020, we all as human beings, we all as part of the humanity have seen how 2020 has made us face unprecedented challenges, how it has made the humanity change the way we had been kind of leading the life, and how we have risen to the challenge, how human resilience has been put forth in this year, and taking some lessons from this year, taking some learnings from the experiences we had in this year, we should be preparing for moving forward in year 2021 with much more confidence and with much more capacities and capabilities. So, as I said, I'll wait for 1 minute. I think now I'll start. India and the world today face an unprecedented challenge, a challenge of the crisis having been inflicted by the pandemic COVID-19, which has affected us all. It has not only affected the humankind, it has also affected the nature. It has also affected the way we have been leading our life. It has taken a toll on our mental health, a toll on the economies, thrown governments out of gear, and it has compelled us to face the crisis. But have we succumbed to all this? I would say no. The global pandemic has not been easy for us to handle, but we have all learned so much. We have learned how to work effectively at home, how to support our family, how to support our colleagues, how to work in tandem with each other. For posterity, 2020 would be recognized as an year when humanity was faced with a crisis, when human resilience was put to strains, when the lines between life and death turned the thinnest ever, when there was constant fear, anxiety, agony, and we all became fragile. It should also go in the annals of the history as a period when humankind rose to the occasion and negotiated the challenges with gut and gumption. I think there was some voice problem in between. So let me reiterate what I said initially. So my initial remarks were that year 2020, the year of human resilience, it has posed challenges to humanity. For posterity, 2020 shall be registered as a year when humanity was faced with this crisis, when human resilience was put to strains, when the lines between life and death turned the thinnest ever, when the challenges were not only put to the humanity or the humankind, but also to nature, also to animals and the entire ecosystem. 2020 shall go down in the annals of history as a period when humankind rose to the occasion, negotiated the challenge with gut and gumption. We have seen how the economic crisis has forced us to kind of reshape, to kind of reframe our economic policies, how we have moved from physical to digital, how physical distances are being bridged through online mechanisms. If we look at the evolution of humanity, it is filled with the stories of courage, determination, conviction, and humankind's ability to rise to the challenges. Rising to challenge has always been integral to human beings, and it is the part of the way we live life and negotiate our lives with each other. If we look at the progress, so the progress has been the work from home, online classes, everything going digital. Not only students who were there in the schools, in universities. So, practically from March onwards, when we saw the lockdown and then there was strict enforcement in the entire country, all educational institutions turned into online mode of education. My own daughter, she is in class 3. Her classes are being held through online mechanism. We have seen how the offices are running virtually, how we are not traveling, but our work is not getting hampered, how digital devices have taken a forefront, and we are kind of evolving, we are kind of finding more solutions which are digital in nature. And still we are connected with our support peers, we are connected with our customers, we as part of government, we are trying to be connected with our citizens. If we talk about, as in my initial remarks I said that it was a challenge not only to the humanity, it was also a challenge to the nature. But thankfully, we all witnessed that there was reduction in industrial pollution. We got more cleaner air to breathe in. There was reduction in air pollution. If we see our all big rivers in India, like River Ganges, Ganga became so clean. We There were initially few months in which there was a complete lockdown even on industrial activity. So the industrial effluents emissions, there was a reduction in that. WHO also reported that this kind of reduction in pollution also helps in improvement of the physical as well as the mental health of the citizens per se, not only for the human beings, but also we could see that for the animals, for the wildlife, they could actually have their own spaces being recreated for themselves. They were feeling more connected to each other, and there was a kind of a reclaiming the planet, and which was very positive in nature. Now, as I move on, I would like to discuss about how our physical and mental health was kind of being affected both in the positive and the negative way. So, as we all know that there were a lot of changes in the way we were earlier working. So now, because we were not physically meeting people, so kind of an online or a digital connect. But yes, the physical touch or the human touch which we get when we meet people, when we discuss issues with them, whether it is as part of the family or whether it is part of a workplace. So there was a change in the way we were, leading life earlier. We were not going to now restaurants, we were not going to cinema halls or going for weekend trips. So all this kind of, on one hand, it had a kind of, stress being generated for some of the people. So there was anxiety, there was kind of depression, and there was a kind of fear, insomnia, and we also saw that there were more and more counseling sessions being organized because people were reporting the issues of mental health. But on the other hand, I would say that we all became closer to the families. Family as a close knit fabric. I really don't think that for my own case, I mean, we were able to spend that much of time with the immediate family members, which lockdown gave us. The reason was that we were not moving out. So whatever free time we had, apart from our kind of a work schedule, that we were spending with our family. So we became more closer to our kids, we became more closer to our siblings, to parents, and we became more conscious and aware of their needs as individuals and of the needs of the family, and the close ecosystem in which we as human beings are working, and we are surviving. So that was also a very positive impact which we all saw in 2020. Of course, since restaurants were not there, so people started experimenting at home. There were a lot of cooking, not only by the females but also by the male members. Even kids were happily supporting their parents in kitchen. I mean, those who could do. And we also shifted to homemade remedies like kadas, the immunity boosters, the benefits of Ayurveda, the benefits of the traditional medicines which we in our Indian medicine we have. So we were, and now it is very happy. I'm very happy to see that all this has been kind of reinforced in our daily routine. So we are trying to take tulsi, we are trying to take amla, and all those homemade remedies which are supposedly helping us to improve the immunity, and it is a very positive thing because it is sustainable. So this kind of a routine, this kind of a regime which we have initiated, it is quite sustainable. People have developed various hobbies. So earlier there was some interest which we, due to the paucity of time, we were not able to pursue. So this lockdown gave that opportunity, whether it was exercise, yoga, aerobics, or learning music, dancing, or for that matter, writing, reading. So there was a time available to some extent, and we were kind of able to pursue our hobbies, develop some new interest, and that has been very positive. I think in we as individuals, we as parts of the society. Also, one more very important aspect which we all, as part of society, saw was that the earlier, the kind of dependence we had on our, household maids or the staff servants. So most of the domestic workers were, for few months at least, were not visiting because many of them went back to their native places, or due to the lockdown restrictions they were not able to travel in public transport. So not only the females, also the male members shoulder the responsibility of the domestic chores. Also kids took took kids also came forward, and they helped their moms. And it was, I think, a kind of empathy which has been brought into us, that yes, if this is a situation, like if this is a situation, if it comes again, then we are kind of prepared. Also, we have become empathetic to the efforts which are being put by the domestic servants. So in local language I would say कि उनका वैल्यू और ज़्यादा पता लगा, अब उनके एफर्ट्स को हम बहुत ज़्यादा अप्रिशिएट करते हैं. So this is, I think, one thing also which lockdown has taught us. Now, if I move forward, that when if we look back, that March 2020, we kind of heard about our honorable Prime Minister talking just near Holi festival, when he talked about Janta. curfew. There was on one day, 22nd of March, there was Janta curfew, where whole nation was kind of given an appeal by the Honorable Prime Minister that nobody would move out of their houses, and that was a kind of resilience which we, as Indians, we showed. And then, of course, due to various reasons, the decision was taken by the government to impose a complete lockdown. Initially, there was lot of hiccups. As part of administration, I was at that time posted in Gurugram as CEO GMCBL, Gurugram Metropolitan City Bus Limited, and additional CEO GMDA, Gurugram Metropolitan Development Authority. So there was a kind of apprehension. There was a kind of non-clarity about how we will move forward. So slowly and slowly, when rules were framed, when the rules were drafted, the communication strategies were evolved by the government. Ministry of Health and Family Welfare did a lot of work on IEC campaigns. There were a lot of information material being circulated by various state governments, um, also in government of Haryana. So all these information mechanisms were made more robust, and there was a kind of an online citizen connect which was trying to be established. And as the lockdown was, phase wise, there was unlock. There was a lockdown being reopened. That time also, we would see that there were some queries, some clarity is required. When the industries were kind of reopened, when the activities started beginning, when the travel, interstate travel was also permitted, so the online passes had to be issued. So all this was a kind of new thing which we as part of the system, which we never thought that we'll have to face all this. But then, yes, we all have proven that come what may, we may be having some, initial hiccups, we may be having some problems, but if we work as a group, if we decide that yes, we are going to, take up the challenge, then I think we all can do it. And especially, I would like to mention the efforts which were taken by the frontline corona warriors. So whether it was the health workers, so which includes the entire medical fraternity, the doctor, nurses, the paramedical staff, even the sanitation workers, the officers, the administrative officers, and their support staff working in as part of government, police, sanitation workers. So all of them, they kind of worked, even though physically they were not moving much, but yes, I mean, they had endless number of hours for their work, and I think we all should be appreciative of the efforts which the Corona warriors, very aptly said, the Corona warriors, because it was a kind of a war, which we are, still to an extent, the war is still not over because there's a new strain which has been kind of reported, and we are still not sure that how we are going to respond to that. So the global frontline health workers, not only in the country but in the entire world, they need a salute. They need kind of a tribute from ourselves and all the frontline corona warriors. We all should be appreciating them. Also, we also saw the use of telemedicine, or the telehealth concept coming up, taken forward, because physically people were kind of avoiding visiting hospitals. So most of the even hospitals, they started these online consultations. Even in government, there was a tie-up with the government hospitals, also with some private hospitals, to provide not only the consultations but also other kind of psychological counselings also, because there were some kind of issues being reported in various parts of the country. So there was also the psychological counseling sessions also, which was kind of organized, and it has actually gone a long way. Now, when we actually saw that there was kind of a restriction in the movement, so there was no international flights for the initial few months, our Honorable Prime Minister very aptly launched Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan in May 2020, wherein he gave a clarion call to the entire country for supporting vocal for local. So there were basically two reasons as we see for that. So one reason was that somehow because there was a impact between the import and the export of various countries, so that trade was being affected, and the other reason was that there was a need to support our local indigenous producers of various fields, whether they were in handloom or artisans or small industries, small businesses, trades, because many of them kind of had an impact on their economic livelihood. So there was a clarion call by the Honorable Prime Minister, to which the entire nation responded very well, and we are even till now we are supporting vocal for local. During Deepavali, there was there were specific announcements by the government, and initially there was this relief package also announced by the government of India. And it is basically a move towards making India a self-reliant country and promoting our local indigenous products. If I talk more about the government initiatives during COVID-19, so I'll initially mention about Gurugram, where I was still recently posted. So Gurugram had a challenge of catering to the multitude diverse population which were coming from different backgrounds, having variant needs. So we had migrant population, we had big industries, we had a population working in the cyber industry, we have MNCs there, we have even foreign nationals who are staying there. So there was a challenge in the initial time, but when we started working as a team, there are various organizations in Gurugram, despite Gurugram, Metropolitan Development Authority, the City Bus, HSVP, Corporation, District Administration, the police, which is a commissionerate system. So all these organizations started working as a team, and things were starting getting stabilized. So GMDA, it transformed its integrated command and control center ICCC into a war room, and it was used as a war room not only for surveillance of the lockdown rules but also to kind of provide the data which was being used by the other organizations like the corporation, food and civil supplies, health department, etc., etc., police department, of course. GMCBL city bus service, it started using some of its buses as this mobile grocery shops for supplying essential food items to the local residents. And it also used its bus as mobile sample collection bus for COVID-19 testing, for transporting of COVID-19 patients, for transporting of the medical staff. All these initiatives were taken by GMCBL. Under GMDA, we actually, I mentioned about ICCC. We also had an online platform, Kovhara, which was an online platform connecting doctors, patients, health workers, etc. We also had, we also had this online the movement pass was issued online. Also, we had the mobile app, which was being used to get all kind of information relating to COVID-19. If we see the efforts at Government of India, Aragyo Setu app, does such a novel innovation, such a novel idea which came forth, and then NIC they developed, and it has been so effectively being used by citizens all across the country. So all these are local innovations, and I think it is a kind of a lifetime experience even for me, how physically the files now are not moving. We are, in fact, GMD and GMCBL were from initial time only, since their establishment in 2018. They are into a kind of online mechanism only. We have e-office, but then this e-office now it is being adopted by the other parts of the country also, and from physical to digital. It is not only in private sector but not also now in the government, which is a very positive impact coming up now. So we all have seen that how we as humanity, we as human beings have risen to the challenges which COVID-19 has posed to us. So what has been the fall-offs? So fall-offs, I think one thing is very important to notice, that there was some rise in the issues of or the cases of domestic violence against women being reported. So because there were kind of change in the way we were living earlier, so somehow, somewhere, the frustration was being vented out. There was rise in the cases of domestic violence, the cases of disturbed mental health were being reported. Also, we could see that some people lost their employment. There was impact on the economic livelihood to an extent, which of course now we are trying to recoup. And also there was, of course, our health, overall health. Also, I mean, there were some imbalances in the initial time, but yes, of course, as we move forward, as you know, now we are trying to move to the new normal. So the new normal includes use of the face mask, your proper washing of the hands, use of hand sanitizers, and maintaining social distancing. So all these kind of the new normal, which we are kind of seeing, it is very important, and we all should be kind of sticking to this. We all should be taking all these precautions in future also. Then only I think we would be able to kind of sustain against this coronavirus. Also, we have seen that, you know, even during weddings or even during functions, we have seen that there was a restriction by the government of, say, 50 people, not more than 50 people in a gathering. So we have, in fact, seen that some people are so proactively, uh, oriented to follow the government rules, that even if they feel it may look awkward, but they actually told their invitees to get a COVID test done before attending the occasion. So, you know, you may feel awkward that if you have to attend this ceremony, you have to get a COVID test done. But if we see the larger impact of this, so one impact is that you as an individual, you are sure that yes, you are fine and there's no issue health wise. And the other thing is that you should not be acting as carrier of the infection, or you should not be acting as source of infection or discomfort for the other individuals. So I mean, this is very important to kind of take this onus and responsibility. And many in fact organizations came forward. There was quite an increase in the you know the PCR, the rapid antigen test, and the RT-PCR test being done. And even COVID-19 has made us see the strength of the society. So in a way, we have so many civil society organizations, we have so many NGOs, we have so many public spirited citizens, not only helping at the time we had migrant laborers in various parts of the country, but also people living in slums, people who had kind of who were daily wage workers. So lot of organizations came forth and provided their fooding, lodging, and help in various manners, even though government also had was trying to do its best. But yes, of course, we cannot negate, and we should appreciate the role of the civil society organizations, the public spirited citizens, individuals who came forth and shouldered the responsibility of administration. And of course, there were, you know, various positives also being kind of noticed. So we had, on one hand, we had domestic violence cases coming up, but on the other hand, the other kind of uh, crime, for example, rape cases, or this other kind of petty theft, robbery, and all that. So there was kind of a decline in those crimes. Also, there was, I think, more of self restraint which was being imposed by the citizen. Our environment became clean. We have cleaner air. We have more, wildlife rejuvenation being seen. We are actually kind of supporting our local communities. Many people are now in routine also. They are not buying products from malls or big brands. They are, or the foreign brands, I would say. They are in fact trying and support. They are trying to support the local indigenous brands. So all this is a very positive thing, which, you know, in the this year 2020 has made us see, and it has made us to learn. So I would actually say that, challenges are here to stay, and how we choose to look at the challenges and failures will actually determine the outcome of our lives. And we must learn to study our struggle, failures, and weakness and try to overcome them. Swami Vivekananda ji rightly said that all power is within you and you can do everything and anything. So, we all listen that the gem cannot be polished without frictions and nor a human being perfected without trials. So we should not be afraid of the failures. We should face them and rise to a challenge. So COVID-19 has made the entire world, in fact, see that phenomenal kind of a radical change coming up. And change is constant. As we always say, that change is constant. There are lessons to be drawn. Resilience is the key. Resilience has been the key. So, what can be our approach now, as we are moving forward in year 2021? So, our approach can be, to strengthen the technological, political, and economic systems so that we can withstand disruptions and rapidly adapt to the change. Also, we already have built some resilient systems. We need to strengthen to them and maybe to cross learn, to cross share, and constantly we need to build our capacities. And whatever capacities we have created, we need to institutionalize them. So it is very important that whatever lessons we have learned through COVID-19, they all should be institutionalized. So therefore, there has been an effort by even all the government organizations to document the good practices, the document the challenges which were posed by COVID-19 and how humanity had, how we as part of administration have been able to take, to face the challenges. And similar is the exercise I think being done by the other organizations also to document their practices and build their capacities, build their capabilities, and gain strength for them. So towards the end, I would, just sum up like this that this year has taught us the meaning of patience, maybe some, pause and, thinking and, reflecting that how we as human beings have evolved earlier and, what is actually the reality. So this kind of reflection, this kind of a positive change, which this year 2020 has, given to us, we only should be more flexible in coming year 2021 to be flexible enough to mold ourselves for any other kind of a situation which is coming forth. We should, in fact, not only stay hopeful, we should stay, energetic. We should stay positive in the sense, you should be trying to, we should all should be trying to help the people around us, help the people in the society which need our support, which need our, some support or basic help. We all should be willing to do that. And let us all keep on spreading the joy of happiness. Let us all keep on spreading the joy of sharing and caring. So this is what I initial remarks I had to say that yes, 2020 has been an year of human resilience. We as part of humanity have risen to it. This should go in the annals of history as a year where there was there was lot of anxiety, there was lot of fear, there was a change in the way we were living the life earlier. But yes, it has taught us a lot, and let us draw lessons from this year and take forward this journey, of course, with more hopes, with positive aspirations in the coming year. So this is kind of my last live session in this year. Of course, uh, my attempts through all these sessions are generally, to connect to the people, to share whatever are my experience, to share my insights, and if even one person draws any inspiration on it or an idea, I am very happy to to share whatever I can do with the society, whatever I can do with the people at large. And yes, my last request to the uh, all the young people here that you know whatever capacities you are there in, I mean आप जहाँ पे भी काम कर रहे हैं, जो भी आपको अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है, सो उस अपॉर्चुनिटी को आप अच्छे से अपने लिए यूटिलाइज करें और साथ ही साथ में प्लीज ट्राई एंड डू समथिंग फॉर द सोसाइटी, ट्राई एंड डू समथिंग फॉर द नेशन, and there are lot many ways you can actually support each other. So wherever you are posted, आपको जिस भी लेवल में आपको काम करने का मौका मिले, आप वो काम कीजिए और साथ ही साथ में आप आपस में जो लोग हैं उनका सपोर्ट करते रहिए, एंड लेट अस ऑल टेक फोर्थ दिस जर्नी, and let us all welcome 2021 with hopes and aspirations. Thank you. So if there are, I think, if some comments or some feedback, I would be very happy to you know answer and respond. So one of the viewers had said that, ma'am, faceless services are new approach towards better administration, hopefully in 2021. Yes, I do agree. So, as part of एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन मैं ये बोलना चाहूँगी कि फेसलेस, जैसे अभी हमारे इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट को रिसेंटली फेसलेस किया गया, आफ्टर दैट कस्टम्स एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट को भी फेसलेस किया गया। उससे पहले भी जो ये डिजिटल इनिशिएटिव्स हैं विभिन्न स्टेट गवर्नमेंट्स के अंदर, अगर हम हरियाणा की ही बात करें तो सारे जो लैंड रिकॉर्ड्स हैं वो ऑनलाइन अवेलेबल हैं। तो अगर किसी को अपने लैंड के बारे में कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन चाहिए या कोई म्यूटेशन करानी है, सो ऑल सिस्टम्स आर अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन। और इसी तरीके से सिर्फ हरियाणा ही नहीं, जितनी भी मेजर इंडिया में जितनी भी स्टेट्स हैं, सभी जगह में इस तरीके की ऑनलाइन सिस्टम्स अवेलेबल हैं। आप घर बैठ के ही आपको किसी तरीके के भी सर्टिफिकेट्स चाहिए, ऑनलाइन बर्थ सर्टिफिकेट, डेथ सर्टिफिकेट, या आपको अपना बिल्स पेमेंट करने हैं, सो डिफरेंट कॉर्पोरेशंस दे आर मूविंग टुवर्ड्स ऑनलाइन मैकेनिज्म्स। सो ये सब जो हैं चीज़ें, ये सब एक डिजिटल जो भी इनिशिएटिव्स हैं, वो एक तो उससे ये फ़ायदा रहता है कि हमारा जो ट्रैवल में जो टाइम है वो सेव होता है। सेकेंडली ट्रांसपेरेंसी और अकाउंटेबिलिटी को बढ़ावा देता है। तो राइट टू सर्विसेज एक्ट के अंदर जो हमारी जो गाइडलाइंस लिखी हैं, तो गाइडलाइंस के अंदर में जो भी हमारा टाइम फ्रेम है, सो उस टाइम फ्रेम के अकॉर्डिंग हम सर्विसेज दे रहे हैं, नहीं दे रहे हैं। सो वो भी जब ये ऑनलाइन सिस्टम्स में हम स्विच करते हैं, तो वो भी हमें मॉनिटर करने के लिए बहुत ईज़ी रहता है। तो ये जितने भी डिजिटल ऑनलाइन इनिशिएटिव्स हैं, दे आर एक्चुअली हेल्पिंग टुवर्ड्स इम्प्रूविंग ट्रांसपेरेंसी एंड इंक्रीजिंग द अकाउंटेबिलिटी। और ये येस ऑफ कोर्स ये बहुत जगह आ रहे हैं और 2021 में ऑफ कोर्स ये और ज़्यादा बढ़ेंगे, तो सबको ही इसमें बेनिफिट रहेगा। इट विल हेल्प इन इम्प्रूविंग द पब्लिक सर्विस डिलीवरी। So there are few people who are asking about यूपीएससी। सो यूपीएससी की प्रिपरेशन के बारे में एक्चुअली मैंने पहले भी सेशंस किए हैं, एंड उसके बारे में मैं बहुत ज़्यादा डिटेल में तो नहीं बता पाऊँगी यहाँ पे, क्योंकि सेशन का टॉपिक आज वो नहीं है। बट येस, जितने भी एस्पिरेंट्स हैं, चाहे वो सिविल सर्विसेज़ के हों या फिर बाकी किसी प्रिपरेशन के भी हों, तो 2-3 चीज़ें बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी हैं किसी भी एग्ज़ाम को क्लियर करने के लिए। सबसे पहली बात कि वो आपको ये क्लियर होना चाहिए कि वो आप एग्ज़ाम क्यों देना चाहते हैं? व्हाई डू यू वांट टू अपीयर फॉर दैट एग्ज़ामिनेशन, या वो आपको उस सर्विस में क्यों जाना है, सबसे पहली बात। जब वो क्लियर आपको हो जाए कि हाँ, आपको जाना है, तो आप ये डिसाइड करें कि आपके पास कितना टाइम रहेगा उसको देने का, उसके लिए तैयारी करने का। तो जैसे कई एस्पिरेंट्स जो हैं वो ग्रेजुएशन के साथ-साथ तैयारी शुरू करते हैं, कई हैं बाद में करते हैं, कई स्कूल से भी करते हैं। तो आपके पास टाइम कितना है वो बहुत इम्पोर्टेंट है। साथ ही साथ में अगर ये सिविल सर्विसेज़ का एग्ज़ाम नहीं होता है तो आपका प्लान बी ऑप्शन क्या रहेगा? सो आई वुड ऑलवेज़ सजेस्ट दैट आपका जो है प्रोफ़ेशनल कोई और अगर आपका बैकअप हो, स्पेशली फॉर फीमेल्स इट इज़ वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट। कि हम इस बारे में भी ध्यान दें। और अगर आप सिविल्स की तैयारी कर भी रहे हैं, तो अगर वो नहीं होता है, 3-4 अटेम्प्ट्स में भी नहीं होता है, तो आप क्या करेंगे? इस बारे में ज़रूर सोचें। जब ये सारी बातें क्लियर हैं, तो ऑफ़ कोर्स डेडिकेशन और आपके जो एफ़र्ट्स हैं, वो बहुत ज़्यादा इसमें मायने रखते हैं। और दिन में 10 से 12 घंटे जनरली पढ़ना पड़ता है हमको सिविल सर्विसेज़ की तैयारी में। और इफ़ आई से कि आपको जैसे 3 स्टेजेस हैं, प्रीलिम्स, मेंस एंड इंटरव्यू। तो प्रीलिम्स की स्ट्रैटेजी, क्योंकि वो ऑब्जेक्टिव ओरिएंटेड है, उसकी थोड़ी अलग रहती है। एंड मेंस इज़ अ सब्जेक्टिव, सो सब्जेक्टिव में आपको ज़्यादा पढ़ना भी पड़ेगा और उसमें आपको यू विल हैव टू रिकलेक्ट। सो आंसर राइटिंग इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट and repeated revisions is very important because you need to recollect and write what you have studied. और फिर जो इंटरव्यू है, इंटरव्यू में ऑफ कोर्स इट्स अ पर्सनालिटी टेस्ट। तो आपके खुद के बैकग्राउंड में आपका एजुकेशनल क्वालिफिकेशन, आप कहाँ से बिलोंग करते हैं, उन सब के बारे में, और आप अगर एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन में आएंगे तो देश के लिए क्या करना चाहेंगे, इन सब के बारे में सिचुएशन को मद्देनजर रखते हुए क्वेश्चंस पूछे जाते हैं। तो सिविल सर्विसेज की तैयारी या किसी भी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम की तैयारी में फोकस और डेडिकेशन बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरी है। टाइम मैनेजमेंट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट एंड ऑफ कोर्स रिपीटेड रिविजन्स। हमारी एनसीईआरटीज़ भी उतनी इम्पोर्टेंट है जितनी हमारे करंट अफेयर्स हैं। एस्से राइटिंग इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट। तो ये सब जो चीज़ें हैं, ये बहुत मायने रखती हैं। और अलग से सिविल सर्विसेज की प्रिपरेशन के लिए मैं एक जनवरी में भी एक सेशन प्लान कर रही हूँ। सो आई विल बी वेरी हैप्पी स्पेसिफिक क्वेश्चंस को मैं वहाँ पे आंसर करूँ। एक मिस्टर अन्वेश खान जी ने लिखा है, माय टॉप लर्निंग्स फ्रॉम 2020: कीप पेशेंस, adapt to situations, face challenges with courage, help and support as much as we can, spread positivity, and believe in yourself to achieve goals. Very rightly written. अन्वेश जी ने बहुत ही अच्छा लिखा कि ये जो है 2020 में उनको क्या टॉप लर्निंग्स उनको रही, कि पेशेंट रहना है, अडेप्ट टू द सिचुएशन, फेस द चैलेंज, support each other, spread positivity, believe in yourself to achieve the goals. I think it is very appropriately what he has written. And अगर हम सब लोग you know इस बारे में इसी तरीके से सोचें, तो it would be actually very beneficial for the society as such. अगेन मैम, नेक्स्ट सेशन आपका यूपीएससी प्रिपरेशन के लिए होगा। सो ऑफ कोर्स मैं जनवरी में एक सेशन ज़रूर करूँगी, अभी मैंने शेड्यूल नहीं किया है। टिप्स फॉर यंगस्टर्स। सो किसी ने यहाँ पे ये पूछा है, मैम व्हाट आर योर टिप्स फॉर यंगस्टर्स। सो यंगस्टर्स के लिए देखिए, आप लोग जो हैं, द यूथ इज द पावर ऑफ आवर नेशन एंड वी ऑल नो दैट इंडिया इज द यंगेस्ट कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड। सो यंगेस्ट कंट्री इन द वर्ल्ड का मीनिंग क्या है कि 15 से 45 की जो एज पॉपुलेशन है, उसमें हम लोग सबसे ज़्यादा डेमोग्राफिकली वी आर एट एन एडवांटेज। तो ये जो यंग पॉपुलेशन है, दिस इज द पॉपुलेशन विच विल शोल्डर द रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी। एंड उसमें जो एक स्ट्रेंथ है, जो यूथ के अंदर एक स्ट्रेंथ है, यूथ के अंदर एक पावर है अपने कंट्री को आगे ले जाने की, दिस इज वेरी इम्पोर्टेंट। एंड हम सब लोग जो यूथ हैं, आप जहाँ पे भी आप रहते हैं, जहाँ पे भी आप पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं, उसके बाद में आप प्रोफेशनल करियर में एंटर करेंगे, तो चाहे आप सिविल्स में जाएं, चाहे आप गवर्नमेंट जॉब में जाएं, चाहे आप प्राइवेट सेक्टर में जाएं, चाहे आप एंटरप्रेन्योर बने, चाहे आप बिजनेस में जाएं, तो आप कोशिश करें कि आपके आसपास जो लोग हैं, जिन लोगों को ज़रूरत है, उनकी आप मदद करें। और साथ ही साथ में आई वुड ऑलवेज रिक्वेस्ट दैट प्लीज सपोर्ट एंड रिस्पेक्ट योर फीमेल कलीग्स। सो हमारी सोसाइटी में जो भी क्राइम अगेंस्ट वुमेन हो रहे हैं, ये कहीं ना कहीं अभी भी एक माइंडसेट को रिफ्लेक्ट करता है, ये एक माइंडसेट को दर्शाता है कि कहीं ना कहीं वी थिंक दैट विमेन आर ऑब्जेक्ट्स एंड दे कैन बी एक्सप्लॉइटेड। सो ये बहुत गलत है बात। And it is very important to understand that they are also equal partners in development, they are also equal partners in our humanity. So उनको वो रिस्पेक्ट दीजिए। और मैं पेरेंट्स से भी ये रिक्वेस्ट करूंगी कि जो आप शिक्षा अपनी लड़कियों को देते हैं, कि उनको जो डिसिप्लिन सिखाते हैं, उनसे ज़्यादा डिसिप्लिन लड़कों को सिखाएं। We should actually try to inculcate those values in our male counterpart to respect the females. So this is also one thing. Let us kind of reinforce in each other कि हम सब मिलके females का respect करेंगे and we all would be appreciative of each other. Somebody has written कि मेरा I am मैम मैं कांस्टेबल हूँ मेरा टाइम मैनेजमेंट नहीं हो पाता है. सो आई अंडरस्टैंड जैसे जो लोग जॉब कर रहे होते हैं तो जो लोग जॉब कर रहे होते हैं तो जॉब के साथ साथ टाइम मैनेज करना किसी भी कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम की तैयारी के लिए बहुत डिफिकल्ट रहता है. बट यस इट इज नॉट ये मतलब बहुत इम्पॉसिबल टास्क नहीं है. आपको दिन में जितने घंटे आपके पास अवेलेबल हैं उसके हिसाब से आप टाइम मैनेज कीजिए. अगर आप रात को पढ़ सकते हैं तो रात को पढ़िए और ये तो आपको करना पड़ेगा कि अगर आपको किसी भी फोकस से अगर आपको कोई एग्जाम देना है तो वो मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ आवर्स तो आपको देने ही पड़ेंगे. आई नो इट इज नॉट इजी बट इट इज नॉट इम्पॉसिबल ऑल्सो. तो आप थोड़ा सा ये है कि सोशली आप फंक्शंस वगैरह ना अटेंड करें. जैसे मैं अपनी जब तैयारी कर रही थी तो आई हार्डली अटेंडेड एनी फैमिली मैरिज. even my cousins got married. So you have to be selfish for your time. You have to be kind of थोड़ा सा अपने बारे में अपने गोल्स पे फोकस करते हुए यू हैव टू काइंड ऑफ गिव जस्टिस टू योर ओन डिसीजन. एंड जो डिसीजन आपके लिए हैं उसकी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी आपको खुद ओन करनी है. नॉट ओनली टुडे इवन इन फ्यूचर. So that is also important that you keep commenting. So one last thing I think I'll just respond. So somebody has written that is there a age limit? Okay, so age limit, yes, of course, there's an age limit in the civil services का जो यूपीएससी की जो फॉर्म रिलीज किया जाता है यूपीएससी की तरफ से उसमें एज लिमिट है एज पर द कैटेगरी. सो वो एग्जैक्टली आप वहां से देख सकते हैं यूपीएससी की वेबसाइट पे अवेलेबल है. वन लास्ट थिंग आई वुड रिस्पॉन्ड. What is the solution of children study guide in village? Okay. तो जो बच्चे गांव में रह के पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं जो कैंडिडेट्स गांव में रह रहे हैं या जो बड़े शहरों में नहीं हैं उनके लिए क्या किया जा सकता है. तो देखिए एक तो बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट बात है कि आज हमारे पास में ऑनलाइन मैकेनिज्म्स भी काफ़ी अवेलेबल हैं. आई अंडरस्टैंड कि इंटरनेट कनेक्टिविटी अभी भी इंडिया में हर जगह बहुत अच्छी नहीं हुई है लेकिन जहाँ भी अवेलेबल है तो गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से भी कुछ कुछ सीएससीज खोले गए हैं. सिटीजन सर्विस सेंटर्स भी खोले गए हैं एंड देयर आर सम ऑनलाइन प्लेटफॉर्म्स आल्सो अवेलेबल जिस पे स्टडी मटेरियल मिल जाएगा. आप उनको एक्सेस करने की कोशिश कीजिए और साथ ही साथ में कुछ जो बेसिक मटेरियल है जैसे बुक्स हैं जैसे एनसीईआरटीज वगैरह हैं वो तो पढ़नी ही पड़ेंगी. और ऑफ कोर्स करंट अफेयर्स जीके के लिए जो ऑनलाइन न्यूज़पेपर्स हैं ऑनलाइन मैगजीन्स हैं उनको सब्सक्राइब कर सकते हैं. यूट्यूब पे बहुत सारा कंटेंट अवेलेबल है. ऑफ कोर्स सब कंटेंट रेलेवेंट नहीं होता तो ये भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है देखना कि आप जो पढ़ रहे हैं वो रेलेवेंट हो. तो वो रेलेवेंट हो उसको देखते हुए उसको मद्देनजर रखते हुए आप थोड़ा सा अपने नोट्स को प्रिपेयर कीजिए. एंड अगर पॉसिबल है अगर आपके कोई फ्रेंड्स हैं जो दूसरी सिटीज़ में पढ़ाई कर रहे हैं उनसे टच में रहिए या अगर आपके गांव में ही जिस एरिया में आप रह रहे हैं अगर वहाँ पे कुछ बच्चे हैं तो मेक अ ग्रुप. एंड ग्रुप में भी पढ़ाई करने से कई बार जो है चीज़ें जल्दी क्लियर होती हैं ग्रुप डिस्कशंस में और कंसेप्चुअल क्लैरिटी भी आती है. तो वो भी एक टाइम को सेव थोड़ा सा करता है. तो बेसिकली थोड़ा सा ये है कि रिसोर्सेज की कमी थोड़ी सी आई वुड से की रहती है बट यस ऑफ कोर्स एक स्ट्रेटजी करके अगर हम तैयारी करें तो हम लोग देखेंगे कि इवन रूरल बैकग्राउंड से जो कैंडिडेट्स हैं हर साल सिविल सर्विसेज की तैयारी में बहुत आगे आ रहे हैं. एंड इररिस्पेक्टिव ऑफ देयर मीडियम चाहे वो इंग्लिश मीडियम से हो चाहे वो हिंदी मीडियम से हो तो इसी को हम लोग बरकरार रखें. सो आई थिंक अब मैं सेशन इज ऑलमोस्ट लाइक 49 मिनट्स का हो गया है. सो आई वुड लाइक टू थैंक एवरीवन हु वाज प्रेजेंट टुडे. And towards the end, I would only say that this 2020 has been a year of human resilience. We have seen, all of us have seen the humanity risen to the challenge just being posed by 2020. We have faced the challenges and of course we have had some new learnings. Let us bid adhere to this 2020. Let us adapt to the learnings and let us welcome the upcoming year 2021 with positive hopes, with aspirations, and with a commitment that come whatever be, we would keep facing the challenge, we would keep learning, and we would keep rising to the occasion. And last but not the least, हम सब लोग मिलके एक दूसरे की मदद करते रहेंगे, एक दूसरे का सपोर्ट करते रहेंगे और सब लोग मिलके एक प्रगतिशील समाज में प्रगतिशील देश को बनाने में अपना सपोर्ट सहयोग योगदान देते रहेंगे। सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। सब लोग स्वस्थ रहें, खुश रहें। आने वाले साल का बहुत अच्छे मन से स्वागत करें। सबको शुभकामनाएं। जय हिंद, जय भारत। थैंक यू सो मच।